Hi everyone, it's Shelley Johns here from Gympie, and I'm here with Ross Henderson.
Hi, how are we going?
And we're going to be covering a follow-on from last week's call, which is all about the marketing plan and different ways of getting to supervisor, because obviously getting to supervisor is the best place to be, okay? This is where it really opens up the whole marketing plan. So can I arrow it?
You click on the screen.
Did I click on it?
There you can. Now it can.
Cool. So basically becoming a supervisor, the short answer is you can accumulate 4,000 volume points in 1 month, 2 months, or in our accumulation method, 3 to 12 months. But obviously the faster you do it, the better. And generally the way you do it is the way your team will follow you. You want to be the leader. You know, so goes the leader, so goes the group. Cool.
Okay, so becoming a supervisor. So you need to do 4,000 volume accumulated over 3 to 12 months. So in example 1, we've signed up, we started in February, we've done 1,000 volume. March, we've done 1,500. April, we've done 1,500, totaling to, then we've become a supervisor. So as of 1st of June, you're a fully qualified supervisor. Example 2, you would have done 500, 1,000, 1,500, and then 1,000 in May, making you a fully qualified supervisor then in June. In example 3, you've done 500, 1,500, but then you've missed a month, haven't done any volume for whatever reason. You've still done another 1,000, another 1,000. Doesn't matter if you've missed that month, and you're still a fully qualified supervisor because it all adds up to 4,000. Again, on example 4, a 500 or 500, you started off a little bit slow, then you did 1,000, and then you've got some team, you're going, and you've done 2,000, and you've made yourself another fully qualified supervisor by the 1st of June of the following month after you've completed your 4,000 volume points.
So I think it shows it doesn't matter how you do your volume each month, as long as it adds up to 4,000 between 3 and 12 months. And as you can see too, that if you've done 500 in February, that's going to get you to 35%. And if you do 2,500 over 2 months, that's going to get you to permanent 42%. So you'll actually move your way up into the different percentages as you get to 50%, or you can just keep accumulating until you reach that 50%. There's a few different ways of doing it. Did you want to add anything else?
No, that's fine. Thank you. So also just remember, you need to do 2,000 personally purchased. That's your own personally purchased volume to make sure you become a supervisor if you are doing it over the 3 to 12 month method. And then you can use 2,000 of orders of your team members counts towards your supervisor qualification. But remember, if you've got team that's done 2.5 and you've only done 1,500, you're not going to achieve a supervisor if you're just doing it with a team member and you've done it over 3 to 12. You have to do 2,000 personally purchased of your own volume in that 3 to 12 months method system.
Cool, and that's exciting. That's why you want to recruit. So the more people underneath you, the volume rises up to help count as your volume too. So it's like a win-win situation. They get the volume and you get the volume. So that's really cool. Okay, so this is an example of how you could become a supervisor with the accumulated method in 3 months. So first month, so just imagine you've started your business, you're putting a 90-day plan into action. So your first month is your setup stage where you're really just starting to get everything into action. So the 1,000 volume points would be enough product for your own personal use and maybe 5 clients. You can do the 1,000 volume points at 42%, so you get it automatically at 42%. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to retail or wholesale that, it'll still be at that 42% discount. And you can have a business launch or shake party to get off to a really fast start. A lot of people do that, so you've already got stock there to go. And then you're doing that 90-day plan. Okay, so you're at 42% until the end of the month, and then the next month you go back to 35%. So in your second month, this for your 90-day plan, this is the building stage. So this is where you're starting to build a bit of momentum with your 90-day plan. You're starting to see things happen. You've done 1,500 volume points in your second month. So you've had enough orders for your own personal use. Maybe you've added in some skin or the H24 to your product use, maybe some targeted products. You've got enough for your clients, reorders, plus you've got 5 new clients on top of that, so 10 clients in total. So you've accumulated 1,500 volume points, and if you have a look with 1,000 in the first month and 1,500 in the second month, that's 2,500 volume points, which puts you at a permanent 42% discount, which is really cool. That's called qualified producer. and now you're consistently working your 90-day plan. So you can see that you can actually step through the marketing plan. So then in your third month, you can see you've done 2,500 volume points. You're starting to build your Herbalife house. You've got some momentum going. You're in your third month of your 90-day plan. That is the reaping stage. You're reaping the benefits from what you started on day one. There's momentum going, and you really want to keep that 90-day plan going after that, so you can do them back to back. So the 2,500 volume points consists of enough orders for your own use. So you've got 10 clients and reorders plus 5 extra new clients for the third month. Maybe they've upgraded onto some other products as well because you're doing some sampling or shake parties and things like that. So the first 1,500 volume points is at 42% because you're at permanent 42%. And then the last 1,000 is at temporary 50%, which is really exciting, okay? And that momentum in your 90-day plan is building. So basically by month 3, you're at 50%, you have a client base of approaching 20 people, you have a part-time income of between $1,500 and $3,000 a month, really exciting, part-time around whatever you're doing, and that's based on ultimate programs. And in those 3 months, you've actually accumulated 5,000 volume points. So how exciting is that? And most people are doing their supervisor in that 3 to 4 months. That's a really standard time frame for people to go supervisor. This me?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So that's the first way, and the accumulation method. It can take a little bit of extra time, so if you can do it faster, why not do it faster? So the 1 month method of going supervisor is you accumulate 4,000 volume points in total in 1 calendar month with 1,000 unencumbered. So what that means is there's 1,000 volume points not used by any of your other team members underneath you, okay? So that's really important that you do that. But if you're not sure, just speak to your coach. They'll walk you through it. So just keep in mind that a brand new member may only purchase a maximum of 1,100 volume points in their very first order, and they may only personally purchase 3,999 volume points in their first 10 days. The reason is we want to protect the new member. We want to make sure that they're getting a product result. They're going to become a product lover, and that they're starting to get some results. And then we know when they've got that confidence, they can finish off the month if they wish to and become a supervisor in their first month. Okay.
So we're now going to look at 1 month with a team of 2 supervisors. So we're doing it in a line system. So we've got Alison and Peter. So normally when you would do a supervisor in 1 month, you would have to do yourself a total of 4,000 volume. So for every person you add on within your line, you have to add on 1,000 volume. So therefore within 1 month, you now have to do a total of 5,000 volume. So Alison does 2.5 instead of having to do 4. Peter does 2.5 without having to do 4, which would have been 8. So it's now only 5. So the 2 people automatically have now become supervisors. Yeah. So that's fine. So to become a qualified supervisor within that period, you have to have done 1,000 volume unencumbered. So both of you have done 2.5 volume points. 1,000 each person. That 1,000 volume points then qualifies that person to become supervisor. 2 people, it's a total of 5,000 volume points with 2 of you within 1 month.
Cool. And this is a really exciting way of going supervisor when you do lines, and imagine you can go as deep as you like. Instead of doing the 8,000 like Ross was saying, you're doing 2 people going fully qualified in just 5,000 volume points. So this is the fastest and the best way to go.
All right, so we're doing it 1 month again, but we're going to do it with 3 people. So we've got Alison, Peter, and Wendy. So like we said before, for every person you add on, you need to add on 1,000 volume. So initially it's 4,000 volume points for that 1 month for Alison. It would have been 5,000 if we added in Peter, but because we've added in Wendy, it's 6,000. Now, if you add that up in a normal scenario, you would have actually had each person, if they'd done it on their own, would have had to do 4,000 each, would have been a total of 12,000 volume. You've actually cut it in half, and they've been able to do the workload and only have to do 2,000 volume, $1,000 volume each person to qualify themselves as supervisor, and all 3 in a line, when you do your documentation, qualifies all 3 people to become supervisors. This is one of the best ways. If you've got friends, family that you know that want to go with you, it's a lot easier to be doing 6,000 total in a month than for 3 years trying to do 12.
Oops, sorry. So, and that way there is really great because you're going, you're going through your center of influence. And this is what it says here on the right-hand side about supervisor application. So no matter how the volume is placed at the warehouse for the month, when you go to do your supervisor application, that is how you fill it out. That's how the computer will end up seeing it, okay? So just keep in mind, but your mentor will help you do the paperwork, or you can call distributor relations and they can walk you through it, okay? So don't worry about it at all. So this is the 2-month method, which I really love this way too. So this is how one person or a line of people can become supervisor over 2 months, which is actually how I went supervisor. When I did it, I did, just did over that two months, and I just retailed on wholesale. But I love that when you can do it in a line of people as well. So again, as long as you've got 1,000 unencumbered, which is 1,000 not used by anyone else for that qualification, that's the main thing you need to look at. So let's go through some examples.
Okay, so we're going to go 2 months with a team of 2 supervisors. So we've got Bruce and Mary. So within the first month, they've done 1,000 each, which would have made them a 42% member at that particular point in time. They're able to then retail their product at 42%. And they've done 2,000 volume points each, remembering they would have normally had to do over the 2 months 4,000 each, which would give you a total of 8. But realistically now, go again if you want. They only actually have to do 5,000 total over the 2 months together instead of their 8,000. So they've done 1,000. Bruce has done 1,000 in June and done 2,000 in July. Mary's done 1,000 in June and 1,000 in July, giving them a total of 5,000. They've both achieved their 1,000 points to applications for their supervisor, and they're now both fully qualified supervisors at the beginning, obviously, of the next month, and they've done that in 2 months.
I think this is a really exciting way of going supervisor. It's really working smart and getting it out of the way quickly. And remember, your people do what you do, they'll follow you. So let's look at one more example, which is really exciting.
So we're going to do it now with obviously 3 people. So we've got Jack, Jill, and Noddy. Excellent, Noddy. Okay. They've all done 1,000 volume points in January. So they've got a total of 3. Remembering if there was 3 people, we all would have had to do a total of 12. All right. So they've done 1,000 volume points each in January. They've done 1,000 volume points only each in February. So a total of 6.
Coming.
Again. All right. So therefore, the supervisor application has shown that they've done 1,000 to achieve the supervisor status in the first, and they've done a total of 6,000 volume points over the 2 months. You need to really show this, because when I started to become a supervisor, I did it in 3 months. I was not aware of this. I could have done it in 2 quite comfortably, but I wasn't aware of what I could have achieved because nothing had been explained to me. I virtually, between enough product and that, we got it in 3, but I could have done it quite comfortably if I'd have been told about the process of achieving 1,000 volume points in my first month and getting 42%. So never discount informing your people what is possible, because when you do that, they don't know. And you just never know. The person you're talking to may not look like they're interested or whatever, but they can be. They're mathematically working it out and going, hang on a minute, I can make a business out of this. This could work for me. Always give everybody the option of what's available and let them choose and decide which method and process they want to operate by.
Yeah, and just keep in mind too, that 1,000 volume points that they've each done, you can do that order by order, or you could do it as a success builder order at 42%. Either way is fine. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do that a minimum of 1,000 volume points 1 month. And of course, the volume breakdown might look a little bit different to that as well, as long as you're doing that. Like, they could do more volume than that in the month. Jennifer, I just want to ask you, did you want to add anything? Because I know this is your absolute favourite way of going supervisor. So did you want to add something?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, actually, I do think if people look at it in a really simplified manner, it's been explained greatly. But, you know, you can simply get a new person, you know, you can go from that person and say, example, she's Mary, Mary, you know, would you like your sister or a relative? Do you know someone who'd really like to do the business with you? And she says, yes, you know, Jack, my brother, you know, and you can get Jack almost signed up the same day. And then you do the same process. Who do you know would like to do something? And then they get signed up. This could be done a day, a couple of days. If you always remember that you consider each person a circle, the bottom person's always got to be registering 4,000. It doesn't matter how they do it. In the end, the paperwork is 4,000. So if you just look at it, that is 4,000 on the bottom and 1,000 for every person going upwards. So that if you had 10 people, you'd have 4,000 on the bottom. All the other 9 people would have done 1,000. You could even get all those people together if they were family, split the cost of the product, you know, and have very minimal product yourself, and you've got that at 42%. So if in the old days, I say the old days when we used to be really going, people did, you know, the long version all the time. That's how we were taught. Go and ask, who do you know? You know, you get somebody signed up. You know, you want to talk to your sister or brother who need to lose weight, who would like to earn some money, who needs a new car, who's got a mortgage problem, you know, who's out of work, who wants to travel overseas to see their relatives. When you talk to people, you find out a reason of why they need to make some money, and therefore you get them signed up and you talk to them about the person in their close relationship. You can sign up 20 people in a line or 50 people in a line. If you make them all circles, you put 4,000 on the bottom, 1,000 on every other circle going up, split the amount of product, they could all buy that, you know, in one go at 42%, you know. So faster, as Shelley said, is better. And if you understand the system, it's marvelous because it's not complicated, and it's easy for someone to say, yeah, well, we'll talk to my brother, you know, we'll talk to my sister, we'll talk to the lady next door whose car just blew up. So if that helps, yeah, this is a great system.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, so it encourages people to go through their Centre of Influence, which is one of the fastest and most cost-effective ways to build your business anyway. So what a great system. So I hope you're all excited to see this. Okay, so let's go on to our next slide. It's yours, Rob.
Okay, what is our job as a wellness coach? You use our nutrition range to get an amazing level 10 result. Develop 5+ brand new clients every month. Develop 2 to 4 or more health coaches on their 4K supervisor accumulation plan. Maintain and retain clients and health coaches, follow-up and Facebook groups, expose clients and coaches to Herbalife opportunity and systemized training.
So probably the only thing I would add to that is, yes, you want to develop your 2 to 4 on their 4K supervisor, because some people do want to do that, but also make sure they know all the options available to them just in case they want to go faster. So I think that's the only thing I'd add to that checklist. Cool. So this is the Herbalife House, which I really do love, and I think it's important that you know what the Herbalife House is and why you should do it. So once you're a supervisor, you want to be at least doing 2,500 volume points minimum every single month, so you can collect your full royalty on all your supervisors 3 levels deep, as wide as you build. So if you're doing 500 volume points as a supervisor, you're going to get a 1% royalty. If you're doing 1,000, you're going to get 2% royalty. 1,500 volume points is a 3% royalty. 2,000 volume points is a 4% royalty. And of course, to get your full 5% royalty, you need to be doing 2,500 volume points minimum every single month. And I want to just show you how you can achieve that. So the first thing, you want to set the foundations, and that's for your own personal product use. So this one shows 200 volume points or more, depending on what you want to use. So just as someone an average volume usage for someone new. And they can build on that, of course. So you want a strong foundation by setting example, being the leader, being your best customer, and working on your product result every single day. Then you want to develop the first floor of your house is your retail business. Australia is really strong on retail, and we love doing follow-up. We love helping people get results. So just imagine having 5 brand new clients ordering about 120 volume points a month. So that's using a program or any type of combination of products, or the skin or the 24. That's equals 600 volume points. So that's giving you 800 volume points in total. Then in the second floor, you've got 600 volume points for your repeat customers. So what's going to happen is, yes, you're going to keep getting new customers, but you also, by doing your follow-up and everything, you're going to get repeat customers as well. Okay, so they love the products. Of course, they want to reorder and they want to upgrade onto other products too. Okay, so just make sure you do fantastic follow-up and keep leading by example. So that should give you around 600 volume points just with your repeat clients each month. Why did it go away? Oh, I went, okay. I'm getting the hang of it. So on the next room on your second floor, you've got your VIP member. So of course, some of your clients are going to want to upgrade to the VIP member and get their 25% off. They love the products. They want to start ordering themselves and maybe even helping a couple of family members or trying more of the products. So generally, when someone starts getting that discount, they start ordering more because they're already spending that amount, but now they're going to get more product for the same amount that they're spending. So just think of having 5 VIP members. They're ordering every single month. Obviously, they're not going to be ordering through you, even though they can. You get them ordering from the warehouse, so it shows up in your BizWorks, and you can track that and get the wholesale income into your bank account each month. And that should be around 600 volume points or more. Oh, sorry. So then we complete the house. So this is the roof of your Herbalife house, and this is your extra 500 volume points to make up 2,500. And this is where you upgrade your clients and ask for referrals. So always ask, who do you know that would want to get awesome results like this? Who do you know that we could help? You know, and invite to a shake party, upgrading and letting them know that other products are around. That's the skin, you know, do a skin party. 24 personal care, targeted nutrition. You know, there's so much of the product range if you let people know. And you know, if someone's giving you lots of referrals, give them a gift of something they're not already using, and you can pretty much be guaranteed they'll reorder it. So this gives you an overview of how to build your Herbalife house to complete your 2,500 volume points every single month and build to more. So I just want to show you how you can build to more than 2,500. Okay, so this is building a royalty income through duplication, and this is when you add on the garage. So when you start recruiting 2 to 4 members or more every single month, you've got them accumulating their way to supervisor, so that equals about 4,000 volume points a month as you get people that are active. But you know, think about recruiting 5 to 10 people a month. You're going to start finding those people that want to go supervisor in lines, 4,000 in 1 month. And that's where you can start hitting your 5 to 10,000 volume points every single month. Okay, it's definitely achievable. I've done it before, and I think when I first got started, I didn't even think I was ever going to get supervisor, and then all of a sudden, you know, hit a 10,600 volume point month. And that's how you do it, by recruiting and showing people all the options of going supervisor. Okay, so just really take your Herbalife house seriously, and I can put this recording will go up so that you can get a clear picture of this Herbalife house. You can start filling it out each month. Okay, do you want me to cover this one?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So this is in your career manual, and this is how to build your royalties. I just want to give you a bit of an idea. There is a recording for those that didn't get it last week of the part 1 of the marketing plan, where we went through this in a bit more detail, especially example 1 and how to achieve that. But just think that once you're a supervisor and you're doing your 2,500 volume points per month, and then you teach 2 people to get the supervisor and do their 2.5, which is a great way of doing your active supervisor program and getting your stones, and you get a really lovely pin and recognition. And then you want to teach those 2 supervisors to get 2, so that's another 4 people, that's 6 in total. And then you want to teach those 2 supervisors, so those supervisors get their 2 each. So that actually equals 14 people in your organisation, 14 supervisors, which is not that many people. Really, it's your small organisation, all achieving their 2,500 volume points, the Herbalife house, and that will give you a royalty check of $4,410 every single month. So great part-time income, or even just a career income if you're looking for a change in what you want to do. You can add on your wholesale income to that, and you can also add on your retail income too. Example 2 is where you have 3 that gets 3 that gets 3. That generates an income of $15,795. So what if it took you 3 to 5 years? What if it took you more? Does it really matter? Most people are never going to earn that kind of income per month. Some people aren't even earning that per year, but you have an opportunity to do it here. And I just want to show you what is possible. might not be what's typical, but it's definitely what's possible in this company. That just imagine if it took you 5 years. Some people, I know Jennifer was saying, there's people doing it so much faster. They're coming back from the honours. But just imagine it took you another 5 years, 7 years, who cares if it took you 20 years to find 5 that gets 5 that gets 5. That actually gives you an income of $76,725. Obviously, be on the president's team. People are doing this. People are getting started and doing this in 4 years, okay? So it's not for someone that's been in the business 30 years. It's people that are doing it right now, okay? And it might not be typical, but it's definitely what's possible. So, Jennifer, did you want to add anything to that? I'll just unmute you. Hang on.
You just reminded me that when I was at the Bonus Awards, they said a guy in England was 84 and just qualified Pres team. So, this is amazing that people at any stage of their life find something exciting to do. They've got a friend group, they know people, and hey, it's got extra income. Maybe he didn't even need it. Like we've had a lot of distributors that joined us who never really needed to have an income, but they wanted something to do. They wanted the excitement of life. And they've also had an 18-year-old in America get Pres team. So, the opportunities there, and what I saw in the States soon, we had a lot of breakout sessions. There were so many people in their 20s in Pres team, it was just like amazing stuff, because the company's been going all these years. They see the results, that they know it's possible, and they love the products, and they're just out doing it. And so, it happens just by situation. So the other thing in talking for everyone, one of the key things to remember, whether it's selling product or whether it's getting people into the business, the most important statement is, who do you know? You get one customer, you're talking to them and say, Mary, Joe, who do you know that we might get on the products? Or tell me something about your family. And they talk about Auntie Mary's arthritis, or, situations, the granddaughters have got lady problems, etc. And it's so easy to say they need to be, taking the Don Quiet product, they need to be taking this product. Somebody in their family, is a sports person. You get to understand about the sports nutrition, so you can direct them that way. So always asking, who do you know? And when you're sitting down and having your cup of tea with a new customer and they're talking about their life, you're remembering that, because you know how you can go back to them and talk about the people in their family that they just talked about that may need the product. So who do you know, who do you know, who do you know? The other thing is, a lot of people want to get somebody they know involved. They've got good girlfriends or, guy friends, and they'll say, well, yeah, I'd like to get Mary going with me. So you can say, okay, let's talk to Mary and let's get you guys going together. Take it a week down the track and they've lost 1.5 inches off the hips like I'd lost off mine. You can say, right, let's go and talk to Mary. Let's talk to Joe about the results you've had so far. So everything is, who do you know? Now, who do you know in recruiting is so important, because if you go along and you tell them the Jennifer and Gary story, you've made, multi-millions, a lot of people are going to say, oh, okay, I don't think I can do that, or whatever. You've got to find out what people want for themselves. So everybody, overall, many people have got a mortgage problem. Many people have got a car problem. Families have got one car and they need 2 cars, so they don't have to keep sharing all the time. You get people from overseas and all they want to do is save their money to go back and see the relatives in another country. You get young people that want to backpack. There's so many reasons when you talk to people, if you can just find out what those people need. And that's the most important thing. Everybody you talk to new people that come into the country, they're going to have immediate new needs about getting settled. So, once you've got those before and after photos as well, which we tell you to get before and after photos of results of the products and before and after stories about people's results, so that you've got something in hand to show or tell people about every time you're getting somebody. And as I keep saying, fast is better. Why wait till next week when you can talk to them today?
Yeah, excellent advice. Thank you, Jennifer. And I think something else Jim Rohn says, the river forever flows. We're never going to run out of people to talk to. There's over 7 billion people on this planet. And, there was people that were, say, 15, 10 years ago, now they're 25. So it's just this natural evolution of there's always going to be new people for you to speak to in different circumstances. So thank you for that advice, Jennifer. That's awesome. You.
Okay. So why become a supervisor? You need to take full advantage of the marketing plan, maximising all areas of your income. You are going to get 50% retail profit, 8 to 25% wholesale profit, royalties of 5% on 3 levels as you build your team of supervisors. To set a good example for your current and future health coaches, to qualify for special supervisor skills, and to qualify for spectacular and vacations. The goal is to get a supervisors as fast as you can. Ultimately, what is important is that you make a decision. Work with your coach, decide what is best for you. You need to work out what is best for you and do it as fast as you possibly can achieve to achieve that 50. Why leave anything behind? If you can get 50%, why not go for 50%?
Cool. So then we have some exciting information. Obviously, Jennifer went to the honours. Was it last week? Last weekend? Last weekend?
Yes, we're away for over a week because the chairmans and founders, we have 5 days of talks firstly, and and then they go into the honours program as well. So we'll away for a bit, but yeah, we got to have a look at the corporate, offices, and in all the years of Herbalife, but in this, even though they've been at LA Live for so long, I've never actually been up there. I'm always doing something else or whatever the story. So we got to see Michael Johnson's. We got to see all the great, photos and of distributors. They have so many distributors' photos and that, not just CC, Chairman's Club and Founders. They've got, the up-and-coming distributors' photos there, and they've got a wall of every presence team. And, it was just amazing going to Rich Gudis's office, and the CEO of our company now, Michael O. Johnson, used to be the CEO for many years and is now on our board. And so seeing the boardroom and having some photos. So you probably saw some on Facebook. Lynette and Mark had some photos taken in, the boardroom. But the other thing, it's in the LA Live complex, and I heard the LA Live area used to be the worst, poorest area of Los Angeles. And so obviously the local community decided that, they could, revamp the area. And it's just the most amazing area of plazas, and there's movie places, and there's recording studios, and there's high rise, and there's, apartment buildings. And now it's gone from the poorest area to the trendiest area. So we even had a big party in the plaza, and it was awesome for the distributors. So I thought it was, a wonderful area, and they certainly made a good choice all those years ago when they moved the corporate head office to LA Live, because I'm quite sure they've made some big profits there now after taking it when it was a brand new beginning and maybe people didn't have the insight, but Herbalife had the insight. And, now, it's just really an exclusive area. So when you see Oscars and, different those, awards presentations in America, often it's in that LA Live area now. So if you get to Los Angeles, go and have a look because it's really interesting. So, for the guys that don't know a lot about, why we have the honours, and we have the honours always in about this time period every year. And Herbalife has always given back. It's a profit-sharing company. And it really is the most amazing company, because when I think that Gary used to always joke and say when he was at the golf club and he worked so hard, he'd go in there on his days off, and I know how hard he worked. He was always that kind of person, always doing more. But at Christmas, he'd get a turkey for Christmas. And he said it was just so much nicer getting the money, And so Herbalife, this bonuses, they gave away 1%, of the annual turnover was over $700 million. $700 million. They gave out to over 400 and something, I can't remember, 400 and something distributorships. And the distributorships are valuable distributors that have reached a certain level, and obviously Herbalife's smart. they don't want to lose these people, and these people have earned good money and they could maybe walk away and retire. So Herbalife's attitude is, we have a reason to keep them in the company because they do a lot of training, they do a lot of running around the world, and they're not always able to look after their business. So company compensates them with a bonus because not wanting to lose the leadership, and also, that they're doing so much for the company. So when you're there and you see, South American and Mexican distributors, that you hear their personal stories, and they used to have a donkey, or be a seller in the street, and all day and all night, and they learn to make a few dollars, and then they make a few more because people in those countries that are poorer countries, see the opportunity that we're just so sophisticated and, so choosy. We don't always want to see the opportunity and certainly don't always want to work. But these people are used to working hard, and you see them on the stage and they've got their little bonus, certificate there, a folder, and it has the amount in there, and you just see them, they cry. They're up there crying, or they'll show their bonus to their downline, or they'll run up to their upline and they're crying. And last year I saw Garrett Jones, who's become really famous. He's got to huge heights in the business in 6 years. And he was crying with his mum last year, and I didn't really know who he was then. So, when you see this, I just think, wow, I wish everyone could see this to know what an amazing company we are with, that we started 38 years ago. And, we have these amazing awards, for people and the incentive to get there. And so all I can say, guys, is, when the qualifications are the same as last year, I won't go into that. You can look it up easily. Just try to do it to get there. Just try to get there. And when you see the kind of, high-powered trainings and things and the stuff that, we're not doing here, or we can learn. We do it, and they do it in a different way. We had a lot of breakout meetings, and those breakout meetings had people that were in their 20s that were in press team. And it's just awesome, or in their 30s. And there were so many people up there talking about how they're running their businesses. And a lot of them are based around nutrition clubs in America. But the nutrition clubs are, say, like yours, Shelley, where they do a fit club, they have a shake. Then, they through that, they get people to have a look at the business, etc. Dan Waldron and his wife Vicky, they actually have a nutrition club in one of the elitist areas of Dallas. And, where before it started off as being something in poorer areas in America for people that couldn't afford to buy the whole product. Now it's turned around that all the elitist hoi polloi, they know all about the vegan food and the vegetarian food and where was it made and what kind of cow did it come from and where did the cows graze and you name it, And they sell 300 shakes a day at this elitist upmarket club. Then you've got others that are just there, around, the suburbs, whatever. And just jumping backwards, when I went and saw the nutrition clubs 10 years ago in Mexico, they were just in little shop fronts, 4 or 5 people having a little nutrition club. And through that, often the neighbor had a nutrition club. And then with when you think of this nutrition club, that was like then getting a new person in your business. So you're building your team and building your team. People who had absolutely nothing, end up being president's team in Mexico. It went from our nothing country, to our number 1 selling product country. Now it's often 2 or 3. It's not always number 1, but it's mostly around 2 or 3. So Mexico, it's just amazing to see where it started from, a country that the products were too expensive to sell. Now the products are selling more than anything. And the distributors that come out of Mexico and South America and the poor countries, all I can say, guys, if you see any migrants in the street, you go up and ask them where they came from and you start talking to them about doing Herbalife, because these people do know how to work. So, the breakout groups really made me feel like, well, I'd rather have some of these young people come to Australia, you know, who really got this new joy of life, you know, this excitement, than some of us old dudes, you know, that have been around for a little while, probably boring everybody. But, you know, really, it's just, we all started the same way. When Gary and I started, we were the least likely people to succeed. Maybe we were like the poor Mexicans or whatever, but we just knew we wanted to do it, and we knew that we would go to everything. We knew that we were going to try to learn how to do this business. And, you know, and we did. And the first year we made over $100,000, and you know, it was 1985. If we'd stayed, if Gary was behind the bar, you know, he would have made $26,000. So, you know, the possibilities are still there, and the company is growing and growing everywhere. India, I think, and it was India, Vietnam were our top countries, some of our top countries. So you've only got to walk the streets, guys, and go in a Vietnamese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, they're everywhere, you know, and talk about Herbalife. You can click onto the computer, look up the Indian flag, and you can see all the products that are for sale in India. You know, it's very, very easy to get people going, but you do have to do the numbers. Nothing, you know, comes without getting out there and talking and doing the numbers. I'm trying to think of all the little things that I want to tell you. I don't, just for interest, cut me off when you want to, Shelley, because you know me, I'll rave forever. When we first go over, we do about 5 days talks for the Chairman's Club Founders Circle. And the first day what we do is that we sit by ourselves and we write a whole list of things that we want corporate to do for the company. So we've heard from the president's team, and we know what they want, what they desire. And then the corporate goes all night, sits all night and discusses all the points that we've put out. They come back bleary-eyed the next day and say, yeah, okay, we could put this into action straight away, da-da-da, da-da-da. So, you know, we don't, you know, it's not just all the fun and show and you know, going to the parties and the training. You know, serious work is done all the time, and it's done for the distributors. And so I do like to tell you, it's so exciting. I'm just jumping from thing to thing here because we saw about all the innovative new product. Let me tell you about Korea. Korea has now started a genomics program. We've got a new product called a genomics product. So everybody's interested in their DNA, you know, maybe for your background or whatever. But in this case, the genomics products is for people to be tested to see their propensity towards getting diabetes or heart disease or arthritis. And so in Korea is one of the countries that's had a genomics, you know, like been a believer in genomics, and a lot of companies selling genomics products. So Herbalife has got involved with a big company there, and so their approach is they say to people, would you like to have a genomics test? And apparently the product's not so expensive over there to purchase. And then in 2 weeks they get it back, and it gives them an idea that they have a great propensity towards, you know, heart problems or arthritis or diabetes. And the person's natural instinct then is, yeah, I want to get on the products. What have you got to give me? So they're finding it absolutely a great new product in Korea, you know, and they're really enthusiastic about it. And I can see that because I think I've told you guys before, I did a DNA test just for my family hereditary, you know, which is amazing. So if people do that for family background hereditary over 1,000 years, we certainly want to know about health. Will we get it in Australia? Who knows? You know, that's the stuff. We had a whole lot of new things, you know, that we tried new protein chips. They showed us proposed products like a chewable brain product, you know. There were just so many things. I brought back shake. I'll bring some up to Gympie, you know, and there's the banana caramel. That is really nice, you know, that I really like. And this one was the peanut cookie. Really tastes like peanut butter. Everybody else likes it. To me, I'm a bit iffy about that one. But the banana doesn't taste artificial, you know, like you go to get a milkshake and it's artificial tasting, you know. So I had to, you know, salvage a few things before Lynette got all the sports products and stuff. So we did bring a number of things back, you know, that we don't normally have. that they would have allowed us to bring back and test. They are in the future, looks like that we are going to start selling, wait for it guys, you know how we always say when you go on the stage, don't talk about your dog. Don't say how you feed your dog a shake. Well, it looks like possibly we might be selling nutritional dog food or pet food in the future because it's such a big industry. And as you know, people love their pets, and they are all going to go to the vet, and the vet's is going to flog them all the time in super dietary products for your animals. So this is possibly a new market that, you know, that they're going to go to as well. So it's kind of interesting. It seems a little strange to me, but in ways, as long as we stick to our complete, you know, nutritional line, that everything's nutrition, it's going to be interesting. I have so many notes, and I'll probably run out of all your time, have I, Shelley? You know?
Yeah, we've got about 3 minutes.
Okay. So Herbalife gave me new gear, see? So I'm going to send this to Herbalife Australia because we always get that black stuff all the time. And as you can see from that photo, I hate black. I look terrible in black. But so we've got this new gear. I can't show you the legs part, but it's got this sort of like nice design on here. And so I'm going to send it down to our guys in Australia and say, when are we going to get some nice colours like this instead of black sports gear? I'm just looking for my little things, and I do want to talk to you about, I do want to tell you this. I want to tell you this. One of the key things that Rich Goodis, our CEO, he talked about all through. I want to get you something quickly. Firstly, he said, you know, Herbalife is about our why, you know, and it's our why is making the world a healthier and happier place, you know. And then he says in our how, through purpose-driven distributors who are our difference. And that's true. That's what Herbalife's about. We give great service to people all the time, and people want to have relationships. You know, they want to talk to, they want to have someone have a chat with, and that they know all about good health and nutrition, because everybody's reading the label today. Our what? To create inspiring results for a better life. Our values. We always do the right thing. And that is one of the most important things. You know, you walk the high road, you always give good service, and you always do the right thing. Your distributors, the way you work with people, with other people's distributors, you know, with your customers, etc. And we build it better all the time. Leave it better than you found it, you know. Leave your customer better than you find them, you know, so that, you know, that they're happy. Even if somebody says, hey, hated the product. This doesn't seem to happen these days, actually. But, you know, people feel good about you, and that is really important. Hold 1 second. Hang on.
It's so fast, you must have had liftoff. So Jennifer was pretty awesome because she kept in contact while she was there, sending messages and photos. So she's quite amazing. Here she is, still thinking about us here in Australia while she's in America.
I'm back. I want to show you. It's called The Mark, because for the new people, there's a famous photo of Mark Hughes with him looking like this into the distance, saying, "See through my eyes." And this is what he said in the beginning when he started the business 38 years ago. Getting tongue-tied. It's 38 years ago. And, you know, all the time was brand new. He'd say, I would take take the Herbalife products around the world. We will have a Herbalife shake in every home, you know, and he'd say, see through my eyes. So this was the statue they made for the awards of Mark Hughes, you know, saying, see through my eyes. So that was like amazing. You know, when we saw this video, it was like a big foundry making this great big Eiffel Tower, it looked like, and it came out with the statue. So, you know, the whole talk was about Mark Hughes training. We are getting a recruiting video. Yay! Recruiting video, so that's good. And hopefully very, very soon. They've been talking about it for ages, but I knew already that it was on the cards. And Anyway, next time I have to tell you the rest because it was truly awesome. One other thing, we raised 1,800,000 on one night for the Herbalife Family Foundation. From the top distributors, $1,800,000 we raised. It's an awesome company, guys. You know, you wouldn't want to be doing anything else. That's it.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you for staying in touch while you're there, like you didn't have anything else to do, messaging and sending stuff. So we appreciate that you keep in touch and you're always sharing and always giving. And congratulations on being a bonus awards recipient as well. I know you got your bonus award, so it's well deserved because you give so much.
They told me I was doing a good job, so I was very happy. So we just need a little pat on the head.
And this is the photo.
Oh, sorry.
Can I do it?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, and this is the photo here for the okay. Do you want me to double? Let me just do that first. Hang on 2 seconds.